So lock is 3, right?
Yeah. 3 p.m. DraftKings, 6 for DraftKings, 3 for FanDuel.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's up, nation? It's your boy Tommy Shake and Bake. We're back at it again for another Sunday edition of the Wise Take DFS NBA podcast. What's up, Paulie?
What's going on, dude? What's going on, man? Happy to be here, filling in for the CK, and doing a show with Tommy Shake and Bake. It's like a beautiful world.
So what'd you think about them football games today, man? Both going to overtime.
Yeah.
Brady doing it again.
Yup. Like that guy is just the GOAT. Like outside of Michael Jordan, he's probably the next best athlete in all sports, and it's just his accomplishments. Like he just constantly gets there, and I think that the Kansas City team was way more talented, but their system, they're just coming through in the clutch. It just always seems to go Tommy's way. Like he threw a pick, but they were offsides. It was just insanity, And
then what they have 40. I think Kansas City 48 yards of total offense in the first half.
Yeah.
You can't win a football game playing like that, man.
No, it was the perfect game plan though. The first drive, the Patriots took 9 minutes off the clock.
Yep.
You keep the ball out of the hands of that electric offense. It was genius. And then, the interception that Tom Brady threw on the goal line really, saved them. I think if they get that touchdown, that game might have just ended it from that point. You know what I mean? They would have been down by 2 in a totally different mindset. But that pick, I think, allowed them to stay close enough, and then the game kind of opened up in the second half. That fourth quarter was electric.
Yeah, man. Drew Brees getting robbed, then come on.
Yeah, man. I said that's just a shame. With all the things we can replay and calls that we do get right, they can't get something like that to mess up a season. In all honesty, that cost them the game, and regardless of anything else, they make that call, the game's over. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, they could have ran the ball down to 4 seconds and then just kicked field goal and won the game. So
it would have been a 18-yard field goal or something like that.
Exactly. So we got a 7-game slate if we're going by the FanDuel main slate. Then we got a 4-game slate on DraftKings starting at 6. So I know you said before the show we're going to go over all 7 games. You're going to kind of caveat into the stuff that's for the DK, what's good for the the FanDuel early stuff, man. So I guess we'll dive right in like we always do, man. We'll start off at point guard, man. Ben Simmons, number 1. What do you think about Ben?
So we are going to have a major value piece on this slate that is going to be very popular, but just very cheap, at least on DraftKings. I'm just trying to see what the Manimal's price is. I think your first show was a Manimal day too, and he just got traded to the Houston Rockets. He's going to be making his debut. He's minimum priced on DraftKings. That's crazy. And I am trying to see what he is on FanDuel. I wonder if they have him in the player pool, because I am not seeing him. Hold on a minute. Interesting. Huh. Is this... Yeah, the Rockets game is on here, but I'm not seeing Mr. Manimal on FanDuel. They might not have added him to the player pool. That is a shame. Interesting. So he's available on DraftKings, but not on FanDuel. So we're going to have 2 just completely different slates with the different games and whatnot. And I don't think that they'll add him. Once they open the slate, I think that they don't make any changes. So I don't expect him to show up, at some point tomorrow. So Ben Simmons, we'll start there, back at point guard. He's been balling lately. Not going to be on. He is going to be on the DraftKings slate. So, obviously Harden's on this slate, and I think once you go decide if you want to play Harden or not, guys like Ben Simmons, you're either in or out of the picture. You know, like if you're going to be playing Harden, I don't think you're going to be playing Ben Simmons. So it's kind of that kind of decision. But I don't mind him at all. Like they're very undersized. He should get double-digit rebounds and points. And this kind of like style of game, like basically everyone's been doing well against Houston since Capella went down. So I do like him. I don't mind him at all.
All right, man. So what else you got above 6K, and then we'll jump into value time.
All right. It's a little tricky because I'm just trying to like figure out who's on which slate. So bear with me. I'm like flipping back and forth between the two screens. So we got Mike Conley owes the nation a bunch of money, and the Memphis Grizzlies have been playing pretty bad lately. Taking on New Orleans at home, getting really paced up. Like, I think we just go right back to Mike Conley. He's 7-8 on FanDuel. And is he on the DraftKings slate? No. So it's a FanDuel only kind of play. I like going back there. Let's see what else. I don't mind Elf where he's cheap. He's 5,500 in that same game on FanDuel, triple-double upside. Oh, I went down to 5. My bad. But
no problem.
Interesting little position here, point guard on the FanDuel slate. We got a bunch of big names up top: Dame, Kyrie, Steph. But I think Ben Simmons is the standout in that range. And then honestly, I like De'Aaron Fox after Mike Conley probably. At 8K in that Kings Brooklyn game. Let's see if that one is on the DraftKings slate.
Alrighty.
It is not. So that is going to be a FanDuel only play as well.
Okay. All right, man. So what you got down at Value Town under? Since you went down to 5, what's under 5 you got, man?
All right. Let's see. It's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers do because Lonzo Ball is going to be out for a few weeks, and I don't believe LeBron's going to be back yet. There's going to be definitely some value options with the Lakers. That guy, SB Paulie D. Let's see what his price tag is. They don't really, besides him, Brandon Ingram will run the point a bit as well. Is he on the FanDuel at point guard? I believe so. This is V. Where you at? Maybe he's at shooting guard. Potentially Alex Caruso could get some minutes too. He's min-priced. We'll have to wait for some reports. Don't see a ton in Value Town that I really like that jumps off the page. Like DJ Augustine, 4.9, I don't mind. I mentioned Alf at 5.5. A couple of the 76ers are listed as questionable tomorrow, and like that would impact Ben Simmons too. Like Jimmy Butler and Embiid are questionable. Like if those guys get ruled out, that's going to make Ben Simmons a phenomenal play, and it'll also make a guy like TJ McConnell kind of interesting too for value. And that's probably going to be it.
Okay. Mahai over on FanDuel's shooting guard.
Shooting guard? Yeah. I mean, if I could see him playing some point for the Lakers with Lonzo Ball out. Brandon Ingram will play some point. He's played that before. And now we might get some Lance Stevens time, too. We'll talk about that at small forward.
All right, man. So I guess we'll jump right into shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
With, what you got over there above 6K?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got to talk about James Harden. 13-2 on DraftKings. 14K on FanDuel. Potentially with Embiid and Jimmy Butler being potentially ruled out, that could open up a ton of value where on DraftKings, even though like Harden really was on path to bust against the Lakers and he got to overtime and basically got to value, like you got to think this guy's wearing out a bit, and we'll see how the presence of the Manimal impacts him. I think it's only going to help because now he's going to have a big that can finish and kind of boost up his assists because once Clint Capella went down, his assists did take a bit of a hit. Now he's going to get another very capable big, and that's another value play that's going to be like lock button status on DraftKings tomorrow. So I'm cool with Harden on DraftKings as I have been. The scoring system is just much better for him there, and at this point, I'm thinking about fading him on FanDuel. The rest of the position, Donovan Mitchell is still going to be running the point, getting a ton of usage with a lot of Utah guys down. He's down to 8-2. I'm very cool with that against Portland. Brandon Ingram, as we discussed, is going to have some point guard duties, so his assist rates are going to be on the rise, making him like a multi-category, upside kind of player, triple-double kind of upside now. So interested in Brandon Ingram. Austin Rivers is 5K against Philly. I could get behind him as well. That's on DraftKings. Let's see what he is on FanDuel. You see Austin Rivers? Is he above 5? Yeah, 5'3". 53. So I don't mind him. Like, since Capella's gone down, we've just seen, like, the Rockets being extremely shorthanded as well. And even though they're getting Manimal back, like, they're still, like, in these close games, game after game, and getting paced way up by Philly. Like, all the exterior pieces outside of Harden, unless, like, they get priced up, are going to be in play as well. And then just, like, bumping back over to FanDuel, there's, a couple additional games there. D'Angelo Russell at 7-9 against Sacramento is going to be in play. And Buddy Hield, like, he just went off, had the game of his life, and his price went down on FanDuel to 5-9. Like, that's pretty enticing as well, especially against Brooklyn, who doesn't defend anybody. That'll be interesting to see how the industry reacts to that. I mean, he just, like, he smashed his last game, and Brooklyn is, like, the optimal opponent for upside games. They just don't play any defense, and they play in the most close games of anybody in the league, like, by far. Like, they're in first place in games that are decided by 5 points or less, and it's like 15 more games till you get to, like, the second place team. So, like, you frequently get 4 rotation games when you face Brooklyn, which is always nice for DFS. So any of those Sacramento guards are going to be in play tomorrow as well.
Yeah, 52.3 fantasy points against Detroit, man.
He's on fire. Couldn't miss, but like, whenever they're in close games, starters do get good minutes, and he's just, like, underpriced. What kind of he's going to always take? Got it, and price down after that. That makes no sense in my opinion.
Yeah, man. All right, anything down there, value time, that stands out to you?
Yes, I mean, we got both Laker guards down here on top of Svi. We got Josh Hart at 4,900. He may have to do some point guard duties and just very, very secure 30 minutes plus. KCP, first of all, they're playing Golden State, so they're going to need his defense for a variety of players. Second of all, they're very short-handed, and they're getting way paced up. He's more volatile, I'd say, than Josh Hart, given the same amount of minutes. Just because he's a little bit more dependent on his shot. Josh Hart kind of contributes across all the statistics. We will have to see if Gordon Hayward returns. If not, that's a little boost for a guy like Jaylen Brown for Boston. Got to see who is available for the Heat tomorrow. They've had, like, that stomach bug going around their team. And guys like Dwayne Wade, Dion Waiters, if they're going to get solidified minutes with somebody being out. I know Richardson was dealing with the illness, played, and I forget, like, 1 or 2 of those guys I think are going to be questionable for tomorrow's game. I saw in the notifications earlier. So those guys are all kind of interesting right there in Value Town. And then Zvi Mihailovic, min-price punt, who may start at point guard. I mean, he's been getting decent minutes as backup lately. He's a very, very good shooter when he gets hot. He's gonna get assists, and especially on a site like FanDuel, like, I'm very cool punting with a guy like that, where, like, he's your drop score, or he goes and gets you like a 10x 30 kind of game. So He's in.
Yeah.
Well.
Alrighty. All right, man. So we'll pop right into small forward. What you got up there above 6K, man?
All right. I don't mind Kevin Durant on both sites. He's 9.5 on DK, against the Lakers, who just aren't going to be playing very good defense, I would imagine. And on DraftKings, on FanDuel, he's 10.2, which, on a site like that, which is very stars and scrubs, he makes for an interesting play. And I really don't play Kevin Durant all that often. And, with Boogie back, it's just another mouth to feed. Everyone's kind of usage I could see kind of falling. And we do have to worry about the blowout here. Lakers losing Lonzo Ball is definitely a tough loss for them. They're already kind of shorthanded, and now you got to go play Golden State that got Boogie. So that's definitely going to be a concern. But it kind of feels like a stack or fade kind of situation where you think it could stay close. They play inspired basketball at home. Showcase game on a holiday, then you're going to want a bunch of pieces. See who else? Joe Ingles still getting a very big usage bump with all, getting point guard minutes, 6.2 on FanDuel. I can certainly get behind that. He's also on the DraftKings slate at 5.5. That feels extremely cheap. Let's see. Nikola Mirotic on the on the FanDuel slate only. He's back getting minutes. His shot looks like he never left. I don't mind kind of mid-tiering with Mirotic in a pace down spot. I don't mind shooters, especially like low price shooters. Like, if he gets hot, he has 40-point upside. You never know when the AD gets ruled out, or AD actually might be out. AD is going to be out. Never mind. Yeah. So all those guys on New Orleans are going to be getting a boost. So Mirotic at 6.1 is definitely interesting. And I think that rounds out the above value town sector. All
right, man. So let's dive right into value town then, man. What do you think?
We shall. So Lance Stevenson, he's min-priced on FanDuel. I'm going to assume he is very cheap on DraftKings. Do not see him. Maybe he's expensive. Lance. Where are you, Lance? Is he shooting guard on DraftKings?
Point guard / shooting guard.
Yeah,
third, 4K.
Yeah, so we should have talked about him over there. He was small forward shooting guard lately, but min-priced on FanDuel. He could start. He's gonna get a lot of minutes finally. Like, you definitely want Lance, and potential blowout run as well with him. Definitely have interest in Lance at 5.3 and min-priced 4K on DraftKings. Michael Beasley, another Laker that could see an uptick in minutes. Pretty much anyone that we think will have more than a 15-minute projection on the Lakers is going to be viable tomorrow. Wilson Chandler, Philadelphia, especially if those guys are going to be out for Philly, like Embiid, then guys are going to be getting usage bumps. I don't mind him. 4K on FanDuel, another punt option, and very, very cheap on DraftKings. If those guys are out for Philly, I'd be interested there. And I think that will be all.
What do you think the chances the Lakers have of keeping the game close with Golden State? I mean, they have been playing better than I expected without LeBron. Mm-hmm. But losing Ball, I think it's got to be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, that's definitely got to hurt. But, honestly, Lance Stevenson, if he is on, he could carry a team. It's just the spread's only 11, and I'm kind of surprised by that. So, I would think like the line could have been like 15. I'll keep my eye on that, which way it kind of moves tomorrow. But honestly, the Lakers side, they're so short-handed that it might not even matter. Like the guys are just gonna play. Like they're they're all young, you know what I mean? Like Brandon Ingram, like even if they're losing by 30, like why aren't you gonna play him? You know what I mean? Like so they might get run deeper into a blowout than normal just because they just don't have that many bodies that are, like worth giving run to at this point. And the value guys are definitely in play, like the second unit guys like Lance and Michael Beasley. That if they do get blown out, they're gonna get that run against the second unit from Golden State. The game staying close really more applies to the Warriors side, right? Like you're gonna spend 10K on a Durant or a Steph Curry. Like you need the game to stay close for them to play 4 rotations to get the upside. But the Lakers side, I don't even think it matters at this point.
No, I get you. I think the Knicks were stupid for getting rid of Beasley too, man.
Oh man, totally. I don't. Everywhere he's been, I mean, in DFS, you kind of get a little jaded. Like when a guy's a good DFS player, you just like automatically like him and want him to be played more. But like, there's the whole like, team and defensive aspect that doesn't really impact DFS. That, some guys you're always like, why don't they play this guy? But you just when you look at a guy's like plus minus, a guy like Mike Beasley, even though he was putting up 40 like DraftKings points up a night, he was like, the Knicks who had like one of their worst seasons ever, and his plus minus was like, up at the highest in the league. So I did like him on the Knicks, but I think that they were like, doing this like overhaul and trying to cut as much fat because they're going to go after Durant this summer.
Yeah, I definitely see that for sure.
Yeah, fingers crossed, baby.
Yeah. Anything else down there in value time that you like? You want to shoot over the power forward?
No, I mean that. First of all, like we've already talked about a handful of really nice value options. At shooting guard, I even left out Furkan Korkmaz. He's forward eligible. Like when Embiid and Butler get ruled out, he's probably going to start. He's extremely cheap. Like we have a lot of good value plays tomorrow already, and potentially more with the Philadelphia situation. We got the New Orleans situation. Like there's a lot already on this slate, so we don't need to like fish for deeper value plays. Like we have enough like really solid ones to kind of choose from.
All right, man. So I guess we'll dive right into power forward then, man. So what you got over there above 6K?
So on FanDuel, I like a handful of these guys: John Collins, Kyle Kuzma, Aaron Gordon. If he plays in a good spot, like that mid tier is very, very attractive. For Memphis, we got to see if Marc Gasol is ruled in or out. He missed the last game. I think he's listed as probable right now, but keep an eye on that. That would make Jaren Jackson Jr. and J. Michael Green viable again. Marvin Bagley and the Kings. He actually started the second half last game. Curious to see if he actually starts against the Nets, but even if he doesn't, bigs do really well against Brooklyn, so I do have interest in Marvin Bagley down there at 5'8". And let's see what he is on. Oh, he's not on the DraftKings slate. Never mind. Like that grouping of players a bunch. Let me see if anything else shows up on the DK side. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins only supposed to see about 20 minutes. He's 5'7" on DraftKings. Like 20 minutes of Boogie, he could go for 40 at 5'7". That's fine. And he got into a little bit of foul trouble. Only played like, I want to say 14 minutes in his debut, and he went for about 30. Like if he gets to 20, he's probably too cheap. So he's also in play. We'll talk about him again at center on FanDuel. But those guys in that kind of upper tier, Kuzma, Collins, Draymond, all fine options, I think. And if not, then you got Mark Bagley on both bunch.
All right, man. So what do you get down in value time at power forward?
So on DraftKings, Kenneth Faried, min priced, like lock that in. I mean, the Rockets have shown us with like 3 players already this year: Danuel House, Austin Rivers, like, um, James Ennis, they'll just throw a new guy out to their team and play him like 30 minutes in his debut. And I expect Fareed to play definitely more than 20 and upwards of 30 at min price. We saw him go for like 40 against Boston a week ago when he got minutes with the Nets. And now he's going to be playing alongside one of the elite passers in basketball in a phenomenal rebounding spot, especially if Embiid misses. Like, fast-paced game, like on DraftKings, don't even dare think about it. Like, weekday, once again, fortunately, he's got crazy pop. No, no path busting. I would say 3K. I mean, it's like, 4 tip and block. Thanks, baby.
Would you recommend stacking him like with Harden on DraftKings and or FanDuel?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think he's on the FanDuel player pool unless you see him. But definitely on DraftKings, it makes sense to play him with Harden. Like, he's that cheap. He allows you to go get Harden, and the more the game, like, the more Harden does well means it was a better game, which means, he's going to get the more minutes than he's capable of. So he absolutely makes sense to play with Harden, and he probably will. That pairing will probably be the most popular on the day. On DraftKings, it's a 4-game slate. Like, he's going to be 50% on, but he's just too. You can't pass that up. He'll go 10x, and you're just dead if you don't have him.
Yeah. Any particular reason why he's not on FanDuel?
Because he just got traded there, like, Saturday night, and FanDuel's a little slow to add it. They didn't know, like, when a trade occurs, like, even though, like, we get the news as the public, it's not official till there's like a physical. So, they probably don't work on Sundays, and that wasn't made official till just recently, or something along those lines. It's just it's a shame. But after that, I mean, on FanDuel, we got we do have value at other positions, but Harry Giles, another center against Brooklyn, and he was the first guy off the bench for the Kings. He did get into foul trouble. His last 2 games, you can see he fouled out of the Charlotte game, and he got 4 against Detroit. But his minutes have been pretty consistent, 17 to about 24. Against Brooklyn, that is more than enough for him to smash his price tag. And on FanDuel, 3.6 is a punt. Totally fine with that if you're not playing like Marcus Bagley, or if you want to punt at this position. Bam Adebayo against Boston, his minutes have been fairly secure. We do like bigs against Boston. If you look, he's played over 20 in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, with upwards of 38 in some games, and he's just had like a bad run his last 3 games. But before that, it was 32, 35, 33, 31. And against Boston, we like big, so I'm cool with a Bam Adebayo punt. PJ Tucker is 5.5 on FanDuel. And on DraftKings, he is 5.3. Not exactly value town, but I missed him and just realized like him a ton too. Man, it's a shame that they don't have my boy Fareed on FanDuel. But Jonah Bolden at 3.6, if Embiid and company miss, he'd become a really nice value play, and they like him. They'll probably start if Embiid misses. And that is going to be all at this time, folks.
All right, man. So last but not least, we got center. As you said, Embiid, still game time decision for his back. He's at 11K, man. What do you think the chances of him playing tomorrow are? Like 50-50 still?
I mean, they want to play him. Like, Houston is like, on Martin Luther King Day, like, it's not like, oh, we're playing the Knicks, so might as well rest. Like, they're going to want him. Back tightness is questionable to play. Like, he had the same back tightness the last game, and he played, and he, was on his way to smashing, and just had like a bad second half, but he was crushing in the first half. So, I mean, I think it's probably closer to, likely that he plays than not, Um, Jimmy Butler, I'm not as sure on, but we'll see. Like, you never know with a back, and they've just played, let's see, they played the 19th and the 17th. So he's had one day off kind of schedule. We'll see, but definitely, very pivotal news for, a handful of guys in this game on his team. And if he does play, he's a very good play, against Fareed. We like him at DFS and all, but he's like 6'7". He's not tall at all. Like Joel Embiid is going to be in a smash spot. So if he's playing, we want him as well.
All right.
After that, I mean, this position is loaded. You got Nikola Vucevic against Atlanta, who doesn't defend center as well. You've got, oh wow, Rudy Gobert is 10-6, and centers have been doing well against Nurkic, and his usage has been up. But honestly, like if Embiid's around and I'm at Gobert, I'm just going to find that 400 for Embiid. And if Embiid is not, then maybe we talk about Rudy Gobert. But if Embiid's around, then it's Embiid. And honestly, I think that there's other centers on FanDuel that are like interesting. Like Julius Randle at 8,200. Memphis, although they play slow, they're the worst rebounding team. He's going to get a major usage bump with no AD. Like I'd play him before Gobert. Like I would say it's Embiid. Next stop is Julius Randle. Like depending on A, if Embiid's around, and B, what the rest of your team is like. If you don't have enough, then if you can't get to Embiid, then Randle's next option. Randle may even be the better option overall. It depends on really like what value opens up at what positions. After that, you got Willie Cauley-Stein against Brooklyn. I don't love him at 8K on FanDuel. I think I'd go to Randle, but yeah, I mean, if Willie Cauley-Stein's going to have a 50-point game, it's probably coming against Brooklyn. Jared Allen has been smashing for the Nets, and centers against Willie Cauley-Stein usually do very well, so he's viable, although I still prefer Randle over both those two options. We saw JaVale McGee just go absolutely nuts against Houston, but coincidentally, Zubac closed that game. And with the blowout factor, I think I would actually lean Zubac here. It is a revenge spot for McGee. He was on Golden State last year. Like either one of those two are the viable punts, and you have Boogie, who's a punt on FanDuel at 5-1. Not even really punt price, but a very good price that, once his minutes start to extend, you're never going to see Boogie at 5K ever again. He's going to be more like 10, 11K. So take advantage now and get those games while you can. I can't imagine there's like that's the decision. You want to go Zubac or McGee? You got DeMarcus Cousins. You got Jared Allen, maybe. And then all the way up to Julius Randle, Vucevic, or Embiid. But those are the decisions at center tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, you think if the Golden State Laker game stays close, that Boogie's going to get a little bit longer run, you think?
So they said he's going to play around 20. And, in his debut, like first of all, he had a slow start. He shot 5 of 11. He played 15 minutes, went for 31. So, like, if he gets 20, 40 is not out of the realm of possibilities. And, like, literally, he didn't have that great of a game. He got into foul trouble early. Like, the second half, though, he exploded. And against the Lakers, there's just going to be, like, they don't have anything to really derail him. He, if I'd say 20 is like the floor. He could go for like 25 minutes and have 50-point upside. So he's firmly in play. I mean, you don't want to drop a 5K guy on FanDuel, but it's possible that you do and still do well tomorrow with all these good value plays. So I'm like, if I'm not grabbing like an Embiid or Julius Randle, it's probably going to be Boogie Cousins on FanDuel. DraftKings at 5-7, it's a little different story, but on FanDuel at 5-1, I definitely think it's either him or those two guys above we just discussed.
Okay. Anything on the DraftKings slate specific? Do you think that, since we kind of did go into the longer FanDuel slate, anything that you say specifically, like maybe from a game stack perspective for DraftKings or anything that stands out to you at this point?
I mean, the Houston Philly game is going to be fast, and it has the same exact total as that Lakers game at 234. The Portland Utah game doesn't have one just yet, but that'll be a lower total, 215 to 220, and then Miami Boston is a 215. So those two, Houston Philly, Lakers Golden State, are by far the standout games, and depending on Embiid situation, like. Those are going to be the two games you're going to want to pluck from the most. Lakers just too much value. They're going to be in play no matter what. And Philly, Houston on the DraftKings side, like we talked about, we got Fareed. You could probably get Harden and a guy like Simmons or Embiid with all this value on the slate. So that's probably going to be the DraftKings approach tomorrow.
Yeah, I was building something as we were going, and I had Simmons and Harden in with some of the people that I really liked. Got that Milochuk, as my punt. Giles is another okay punt.
Yep.
So I got two positions left, one more power forward and one more center, but I only got 8,200. So I was thinking about trying to take a shot with Boogie, but then I got to find some, a couple extra bucks cash. So it'd be
how much is Mirotic on DraftKings?
Let's see here. $6,100.
Yeah, you probably don't have enough there, but what's Ben Simmons on DraftKings?
10. Or on DraftKings, he's give me 1 second.
Oh, that was FanDuel that you were building that lineup on?
Yeah, Simmons 8,600 over on FanDuel. So
yeah, I mean, if Simmons is preventing you from making like a better lineup, he's all right to come off of, especially if Embiid is there. But maybe on FanDuel, I think you take Harden out. You know what I mean? And you build without Harden on FanDuel because you also don't have that Fareed min-price play. There are some other nice value plays, but at 14K, like 5X is 70, right? Like, and that's not even, you're not even thrilled about that. You need him to go for like 90, which he may in this game if it's close, but. I think on FanDuel you build without him, and like all these other guys are in just really good spots, and you can get like a better overall team.
Yeah, it's crazy. I dropped him, and now I've got 3 players, and it's 7,400.
Yeah,
it's my average price for 3 more people.
Yep, and I mean you got Drew Holiday going to get a major boosted shooting guard with no AD. You got Randall or Mirotic. You're going to want one of those 3 for sure, maybe even 2 of them, even though it's Memphis. You're going to want some of those Lakers, like. I think you just build without Harden and have like a more balanced but better overall team.
All right, I get you. So, just trying to build it too. So, you said Julius Randle underneath Embiid if Embiid doesn't play is your next big center you like, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so that leaves me. I got 5K left at power forward. Let's see where I'm at. That leaves me Marcus Morris, Bam. Stuff like that.
I don't mind Bam. I don't mind Bam right there, or even Marcus Morris. Especially if Gordon Hayward misses. But you could also put Boogie as your center on FanDuel, and then pay up at some of those other spots. Put Mirotic, and who else is good at power forward on FanDuel? Let me take a look.
See, I'll put Boogie in there. See what that leaves me with. My computer's going crazy right now.
Yeah, I mean, then you can go grab like Kyle Kuzma in that game or John Collins in that Orlando game, and you could probably upgrade another position as well.
Yeah, if I grabbed Kuzma, I don't have enough for Collins. Collins 83. I got 81 left if I go with Boogie. So I could get Kuzma and still have $600 left.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Upgrade somebody else, but that's probably I think if you play both sites, I think it's just play the Fareed Harden combo on DraftKings and fade Harden on FanDuel. And if Harden goes for 100, you'll be rooting for your DraftKings teams, and if he doesn't, you'll be rooting for your FanDuel team. Just that kind of simple. He's just been that pivotal like each slate, and the way the scoring systems work, it just makes sense to kind of approach it that way.
Okay. I'm just double checking here, but the FanDuel's got an early only slate as well too, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we might have some content for that, but we just cover the mains on this show.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So I know we're going to get into our top threes, but for all you guys, just checking us out maybe for the first time, kind of know what we are at the Wise Take Nation, man. You want to tell them, what they got to do to become a part of the best DFS Nation?
Yeah, man, check us out. You can grab a day pass, $2.50. Gives you everything except for the Slack chat. Gives you like a way to sample the product, sample the merch. Gives you just a little taste, so you got to come back for more. But we really do have an awesome product. We give you cash game specific articles, GPP articles. I put out a cheat sheet. We won't have CK's core article for a few days as he's dealing with a family matter, but normally we have his core article. We just updated our model. We played around with different weights of different factors, and we finally back tested one that we like, and it's been doing really well. So you can just come on and with our projecting and start your builds there. We pull tons and tons of content, and then we do a live stream today for lock about 5 p.m. on standard nights. Tomorrow, I guess it's being the slate starts at 3. Interesting. Pass, and then once you try us out, if you like it, you can make the monthly or better commitment. Slack chat.
Slack chat's my favorite part, man.
Yeah, you get to communicate with the entire community, and you want to talk DFS. There's always people in there that are knowledgeable, and then the experts pop in and give their advice on slates as we approach lock, especially with basketball, with late breaking news. It's great to be able to have information at your disposal. It's just a really good, a good product, a good community. If you're playing DFS, you will be better if you come join the nation.
Oh, that's for sure, man. I was horrible when I first started out, when CK was starting this whole thing off, man, and just looking at him, especially that core article, man. Over the last 2-3 weeks, man, that thing is pretty much smashed almost every single time.
Yep.
So you got people like you got Larry out there winning a few $1,000 every week. You got our NHL guys are smashing right now.
Yep.
Cash, what, 2 G's on golf today, man?
Yeah, man.
So
they have started off the golf like hotter than a fucking smoking pistol.
Yeah, man.
I played golf. I've only made one lineup, and actually min cash with two guys missing the cut, and I'm mad that I didn't play more because the winning combos were in his article. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah, for sure.
I only built one team, but yeah, you don't want to miss that. Jump on the golf now while cash is hot, because it's not every week we take down GPPs on the regular, but someone in the nation usually does. But right now he's as hot as can be when it comes to golf, and it's just don't miss out on these cash and DFS hot streaks. They're the best thing ever.
Yeah, wait till NASCAR this season, man.
I know,
fun with that too.
3 weeks away, baby. Cash and DFS and NASCAR. It's a good time to work.
Man. It's gonna be wild. So that's it for the position by position. So we'll jump back to point guard, man. Give me your well, I guess we'll do top 3 DraftKings, top 3 FanDuel.
Yeah, we'll do them per site. So we'll do FanDuel first, and then we'll do DraftKings after. How about that?
Gotcha. Perfect. So we'll run through FanDuel the whole way through, and then jump back over to DraftKings to end it up.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. So what you got over here on FanDuel, man? Point guard.
All right. Mike Conley, I definitely like at 7-8. I think DJ Augustine at 4-9 against Atlanta makes for a really nice play, especially if a guy like Aaron Gordon gets ruled out. And lastly, I mean, Ben Simmons, especially if Embiid gets ruled out, but even if he doesn't, he's going to be in a pretty good spot here with all the rebounds that they should be easily grabbing and whatnot. But if Embiid is out, he becomes like an electric play.
All right, man. What you got over shooting guard?
Shooting guard, we have I'm going to say Drew Holiday. Number 1, I will go with Josh Hart, number 2, and give me Donovan Mitchell, number 3.
Yeah, then top point you said, then there's Milechuk, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. There might be better plays than Milechuk. I got to see if he's going to start at point guard. If he's not going to start, maybe not. But if he gets bumped in that starting role and we're like, all right, he's going to get like 30 minutes, then he's definitely viable. So we got to wait and see on that.
All right, man. What you got over small forward?
Small forward, I love the Lance Stevenson punt. That one is automatic for me. Like, I don't need to, I know that he's going to get, upwards of 25 minutes or so. And, at min price, that's a definite. Taurine Prince is 4-1. I kind of glazed over that earlier, but, now just looking at the FanDuel specific, he played 23 minutes last game and didn't have a minute limit. 4-1 is, wildly cheap against Orlando. I actually kind of like that. And last but not least, Brandon Ingram, 6'7", getting point guard. And there's also Mirotic. Brandon Ingram or Mirotic, 3A and B.
All right. Now you said a little bit about Joe Ingles too, but
yeah, I do like Joe Ingles as well, but you got to chop things down. Top threes, baby.
I gotcha. All right, man. What you got over at power forward on FanDuel?
Power forward, I think that I will have one of Harry Giles or Marvin Bagley. I like that bigs against Brooklyn. I think I'll have one of those too. Kyle Kuzma, just mega usage bumps with no Lonzo Ball. And I am cool with John Collins.
Okay. All right, man. But last but not least for FanDuel, we got some center, man. What you got?
Center, yeah, we'll go Boogie, Julius Randle, and Joel Embiid if he is available.
All right, man. So let's pop right over on down to DraftKings, man. What you got at point guard?
Yeah, so different slates, different options. Lance Stevenson is point guard eligible, 4K. Like that, we will say James Harden, and we will say some Josh Hart action over there.
All righty, man. So what you got a shooting guard?
Shooting guards, we've got Brandon Ingram. We've got JJ Redick if Jimmy Butler misses. KCP.
All right, man. What you got at small forward?
Small forward. Okay. A lot of these are just carryovers from shooting guard, but PJ Tucker, cool with that. Marcus Morris, I'm cool with that. And Joey Ingles.
All righty, man.
Make the cut on only a 4-game slate.
Nice. All right, man. What you got over at power forward?
Power forward, Kenneth Faried, lock button, all in, do it. Kyle Kuz and Bam Adebayo at 4-2, like that.
All righty, man. We were just what power? So we had that power forward. We were center.
That was power forward. We are on center, and that is going to be a little different. I mean, if Embiid's around, he's obviously the best play. Rudy Gobert is only 8,500 on DK, and we have less options here, so I'm going to say Rudy Gobert and Boogie Cousins.
All right, man. So, anything else? Anything you want to add? Before we ramp it out of here.
No, I mean, be back to business tomorrow. Content will be out accordingly as we adjust to the schedules tomorrow. We just kind of found out that the slates are different times and early start day because of MLK. But content will be out at it's usual 2 hours to 3 hours before lock and whatnot, and decent little slate. Wherever you're playing, should be good times. If you are watching us on YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Podbean, whatever other platforms that I forgot, do your part, hook us up, thumbs up, like button, share, support the nation. It helps us do what we do, bumps us up those charts, and allows us to keep bringing you these free podcasts on a nightly basis, which is awesome. Let me let the producer know that we're about done, and you can take us on home, Tommy.
All right, man. So I'm going to see if we can finish up this FanDuel lineup. We're waiting for,
right.
Mr. Producer, man. So if I did, we got Boogie, Kuzma, at least in power forward 4,200.
42?
Yeah. Let me see, power forward 4,200. That gets me down to Karukas, Davis.
Yeah, I mean, what's the rest? Walk me through the whole lineup so I can build it myself so I can see it.
I got Simmons, Conley, Milochuk, Holiday, Ingram, Ingles. So I could do something with Ingles over here probably. And then Kuzma and Boogie. So
Simmons, Conley. Who was the second shooting guard?
Milochuk, Holiday.
Holiday. You said Ingram and Ingles at power forward?
Yeah, small forward. Yeah.
Small forward, yeah, correct.
And then Kuzma and then Boogie at center.
Kuzma and Boogie Cousins at center. So, yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is go from Ingles to Lance Stevenson and Price. That's my favorite play.
Get that. All right, so I do that. It leaves me my last power forward be 6,900.
69, that's kind of a no man's land, but hold on. I think you go grab Marvin Bagley and then bump up Milochuk to KCP. You got yourself something.
Yeah. Who'd you say swap out at power forward again?
Put Marvin Bagley at power forward. And then go from Milochuk to KCP.
Bagley. Milochuk.
Four 6 KCP.
Got him. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it fit perfectly. So, I mean, obviously it's night before. Lots can change. That ain't like a lineup, but that's just our first look, things that we're liking.
Yeah,
and that is
good placeholder lineup.
There you go. There you go. Boom.
All right, Nation. So good luck tomorrow. Like I said, you guys be on the live stream here. I think we said about 1:30 or so.
1 o'clock, I think. Yeah.
All right, perfect, man. So, well, good luck, guys. Any questions, concerns, you guys got access to the Slack, man. Hit us up, and then look for that content tomorrow, man. So, good luck, Nation. See you guys next week.
Yeah. Good job, Tommy boy.
Thanks, man.
You all set, Steve?